Okay, today I'm working on a 2005 Mercury Grand Marquis. All right, this car, when it had in the mid 70,000 miles, the original Ford fuel pump took a shit, which these things are notorious for. Okay, I do have another video I put up on how to change a fuel pump in one of these things. It was on a 2001 Grand Marquis I was working on last time, and I learned a few more things since then to make job probably a little easier. Okay, like I said, this the Ford pump was replaced at about mid 70,000 miles. This car's got like 182,000 miles on it, and the Airtex pump that was put in it took a shit. Okay, all right. Last time the entire this is an Airtex pump. The whole thing was replaced instead of just the pump itself. So when this died, now the fuel pump, the fuel gauge works fine. So I figured there was no sense in changing it. It was a lot more expensive to buy this whole thing. So I bought just the pump. All right. I ran across something here. I want to, before I talk to you about how I changed the pump, got this out of here. I want to talk to you about the pump itself. Okay. Like I said, this is an Airtex pump, and it came as the whole assembly. Well, you see on the pump, it's got these terminals here for the wires, and it's got a little pigtail. All right. When I bought the replacement pump for this, obviously I got it for a 2005 Ford. Mercury, same difference. Okay, and I got just the pump. Well, the terminals on the pump are different. And it's got the one outlet, but these terminals are different. But I noticed that this had a pigtail. And what it is these wires were wrapped around this tube like this is. Okay. The Ford, Ford pump, a stock Ford pump comes with this type of plug-in on it. Okay. And Airtex has something different here, obviously. So just if you run across that, that the pump plug-in is different, this pigtail comes off, and you unwrap this, and you got plenty of slack. This will plug right into that new Airtex pump that I bought, and this is the actual standard Ford plug-in for their fuel pumps. So if you run across that, all you do is take this pigtail off, and this will plug right into your new pump. All right, but on to about changing it. I've changed a number of these, and initially I would take the tank out, and you don't have to do that. All right. There's a set of wires here that goes up on top of the tank that plugs in on top of the tank. And although you can unplug them up there, I mean, it's a big pain in the ass to try and get up there and unplug that and pull that out of there. But in my last video, it's on my channel. You can check it out. I talked about it. What I did was I cut these wires. I saw another video where a gentleman cut the wires and then spliced it back together with wire. Thought it was connectors. I actually put a plug in there. That way you can just unplug it and put it back together. And that 2001 that I did, but someone had made a comment that I didn't have to actually do that. And they're right. You don't. You don't have to cut anything. Those wires that go up on top of the tank, they don't go into the pump. They go into this connector that connects right here. You unplug this, and this is just slightly different than that 2001. The 2001 has a return line on the fuel line. This only has one fuel line, but it has a connector above the frame here. You disconnect that and pull that out. And what I did was I cut the little piece of tape holding that split loom on there, and I pulled the wires out of that split loom, and you have plenty of slack to get that tank, that pump out of the tank. And you see I put a strap around the exhaust and just pulled the exhaust over out of the way. And it gave me enough room with the slack in this wire. I could get that pump right out of there. So you don't have to, like I said, you watch my other video, and I talk about taking the tank out. There's some, if you have to take the tank out, there's some important points about that, but watch my other video about that. I'm not going to go over that again. But as far as, having to cut this or anything like that, just take the wires out of the wire loom and you have plenty, and ratchet however you do it, ratchet the exhaust out of the way, whether you unbolt it and take it off or whatever, it's up to you. But give yourself enough room, and you have enough slack. You don't have to cut these wires. You can pull that right out, change your pump, and then put it right back in. So just a little update from that other video I did, and that's about it. So you don't have to cut any of those wires or splice anything. Once I get it all put back together, I'll just stuff the wires back in the wire loom, tape it back up, and down the road I'll go. All right, I guess that's it for now. Thank you very much. I hope this helps.